$150 raising.
I love it. Who's this long hole through?
I don't think we're ever going to get to the part.
We're just going to keep going. We're first going to move the video.
All right, let's begin.
And you know what? I don't like the attitude, Tim. Damn it. Hi, everyone. I'm Skyler Eckenrode.
And I'm Tim Hoffman, and I'm in a pissed off mood today, folks.
Folks, by the way, we're in the presence of our first ever live studio audience. Great to have them. I see Brian Bosworth is here. Bos, why don't you come and get some questions in? We got a special guest today, folks. Real special appearance. He has no idea he's getting this interview. Brian Bosworth, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Actually, when I'm on camera and I have the sunglasses and headband on, I prefer to be called the Boz. Thanks, Skinny. Thanks, Tim. Have a great show, guys.
Thanks, Bos.
Okay.
All right, folks. So, starting off our countdown this week. Coming in at number 10, Tyler DePaffey. TD, I don't know where to start with your team. There's just not a good year for you. You're 2-7. Phillip Rivers last week, solid negative 3-point outing. Great advice on Tim's part. Matthew Berry over here. Pushing that Phillip Rivers guy. Not that...
Number 2 fantasy quarterback.
Not anymore. At least Marshawn Lynch finally got back on track, though. You are starting Trey Mason this week. Anytime you have somebody from St. Louis.
That's not a bad play, though.
Phillip Rivers, negative 3 points last week. That's all I'm saying.
Trey Mason, War Damn Eagle.
So you only have 4 players who've scored over 100 points this season. 2 of them are quarterbacks. 1 is your defense. That's kind of rough. You could be eliminated from playoff contention this week with a loss. And by the way, little hint for you, Garrett, shut your fucking mouth. You are still currently playing Cordell Patterson, who is on a bye this week. So maybe you packed it in and called it a season. Not too sure, TD. Better pick it up.
All right, coming in at number 9. I bet he's pretty surprised he's not number 10. Keebler. Eli has been decent for you. He had a good week this week. Made you a little bit closer to Garrett. Hi, Frank. But your problem with your team is you have a case of a couple bad chefs. Cook and Cooks have combined for 1 TD each. Maybe they need to start using a little bit more. They need to use a little bit more oleo in their recipes because they have not been doing well. All your starters, I looked it up because I got curious. All your starters minus Eli Manning this week, your whole team has only combined for 4 TDs out of both receivers, both running backs, and your tight end and your flex. 4 TDs the entire season. Your team doesn't score
You've
anything.
had almost as many sexual partners as you've had touchdowns scored by your team.
Very nice. But, Keeb, I mean...
Male sexual partner.
I don't know how you're still in our league to be in contention for a playoff spot. If Jarrett keeps shitting away games and you find a way to win some, you have a good chance of making it. So you better hope Garrett doesn't get hot.
Who'd have thunk it? After dropping his 3rd-round pick, the Seahawks.
Fucker right in the pussy.
Sit down! I don't like the studio audience. They're being assholes.
Oh, God.
Because you're being a douche.
Coming in number 8,
Yeah.
Smitty. Smitty, I think you moved up a spot. You still lost. But you really can't catch a break this year. Tom Brady's finally starting to play lights out. He's the number 2 quarterback over the past 5 weeks besides Ben Roethlisberger. Forte is still your number 3 running back. Alfred Morris, number 8 running back. Des Bryant is catching more TDs than Tim when Brent's covering him. The team just can't put it together, though, in the same week. You have the 2nd most points scored against. You really have to put a strong run together here if you want to make a playoff push. There's some good news, however. Great news, actually, some might say. You are playing Keebler this week. Woo-hoo-hoo! So 3-7. Here you come. You're still only 2 games out of a playoff with games looming against Jarrett, myself, and Davey. So some big weeks coming up for you. Best of luck to you, Smitty.
All right, coming in at number 7 is Jarrett. Garrett, I mean, I think the song of the week for you is Baby Bye 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 because your entire team was on buys this week. And so, luckily you had Keeb and you got the win. Johnson, Nelson, and Bell were all on buys. Nelson is really big for you. Bell, he comes and goes, but, I mean, your team still looked good. You had Luck for 32 points. Edelman got a return TD, and he had 20 points.
Yeah, I want to bring that up. Why do we get points for return touchdowns in this league?
I don't know. I didn't know that's how it was.
It's a touchdown.
I didn't know that's how it was. I thought that was a special teams only. Okay. Garrett, I do like you playing Kelsey. The Kansas City Chiefs' only receiving touchdowns have been scored by tight ends or running backs. Running backs. None of their receivers have caught touchdowns. So that's good for you playing Kelsey. He loves to get the ball from Smith. So I like that play a lot.
Good for you this week, too. All right, then. Coming in at number 6, Burticus Prime. I love this audience. You pulled out the 1-point win versus Davey last week. You should change your team name to Praise Nick Foles' Clavicle because that could turn out to be a huge turning point in the season. You're currently sitting in a playoff spot, 3rd place in the division. You only have 2 guys that have scored over 100 points on your team. That's the least. Keeb has more players that have scored over 100 points. Like Keebler. He took a defense in like the first round or something.
And then dropped them.
And I picked them up. And they scored a touchdown this week. But that's beside the point. Anyway, they're Manning and Bradshaw. Other than that, the depth is not there on your team. You're starting Bobby Rainey and Antoine Smith this week. Antoine Smith is a 3rd-string running back for Atlanta. That's no exaggeration. He is their 3rd-string running back. Burt is starting him. You do, however, have A.J. Green coming back, so that could help your struggling wide receivers core. I have to say, you've had a lot of luck involved. You've only had 100 points, more than 100 points scored against you 3 times this season, which is a league worst. You have a huge game this week, though, against Beto. Absolutely huge. You could be in 2nd place by the end of the week, or you could be in 4th place on the outside looking in. And you have games remaining against TD, should be a win. Short guy, probably a hard one to win. And then you have a huge season finale against me that could really decide that last playoff spot.
Okay, well, best of luck to you, Skinny. Coming in at number 5, we have Skinny. You're basically pulling a Keeb here. You're in a 4-way for your division, just like it is over in ours. Everybody in your division is tight. Everybody in our division is tight, but we both have that one team who's TD and Luke, who might as well just kiss it goodbye. Hill was a great play. Giovanni Bernard was out. Great play. Seahawks D. Keebler. What the fuck? You dropped a 2nd-round draft pick.
They got me 3 points.
They played Oakland last week, though.
So, Keeb drops the 2nd overall pick. Skyler picks him up. Good play. Murray, though, was piss poor this week compared to what he usually is. And I'm saying that he still had a decent week, but we expect huge numbers out of him. He had 19 rushes for 79 yards. I don't know if teams are starting to pick up that they just got to stop the run because Romo is not playing and they can't throw the ball now. I don't know. You got to watch Murray there. But McCoy came back to life.
Sure I put a word in Jason Garrett's ear.
All right, good, just like Jerry Jones did. McCoy, 12 points. He's getting back on track, 117 yards in a TD. I think he's going to be huge down the stretch. Eagles are going to need to run the ball with Nick Foles out because who the fuck wants Mark Sanchez throwing the ball? So be ready to get him to run the ball.
That it?
Yep. Coming in at number 4, we have the Boz. Vito, Big Ben again is being big in the pants, getting you 40 points right there. Huge. I'm glad you played him this week.
Yeah, me too. I was ecstatic.
You got the 1-point win over Skinny.
Keep going, Big Ben.
But Brown is reaping the benefits from Big Ben throwing the ball. So that's a good tandem. I tried to do that with Cutler and Marshall just decides to be a total fuck clown. But Brown's doing well. Sanders is good because of Peyton, and that's a great play. Sanders is a good receiver. He's been doing really well lately, 16 points this week. But what's hurting you and could hurt you in this tight race that you're going on for playoffs is Benjamin had 1 point, Heath Miller had 1 point with Big Ben's huge week, and Gore had 4 points. You have a lot of voids right there, not having players that can produce. But you might be getting Adrian Peterson back in the next week or two.
That could be
so. That is huge.
game changing
If he comes in and does well. So you got to hope that I'm sure he stayed in shape, but you just got to hope that he's going to play good.
He's big and black. That's all that matters.
Yep. So he should carry you, hopefully, right in through the playoffs, buddy.
All right. Moving on. Number 3. Timothy keeps moving up the ranks. You're the hottest team in the league. 4 straight victories. You could be in first place in your division after this week.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very rough week for your matchups. You have Jamal Charles going against the 3rd-ranked Buffalo Bills rush defense. You have Mark Ingram going up against the 5th-ranked San Francisco rush defense. You're forced to start Scott Chandler.
Gronk is on
I
bye.
understand that, but it's a very big week for you. And you're forced to start the 20th-ranked tight end. Watkins, questionable, might not play this week.
He's fine. I talked to him on the phone.
You could be pressed to start Dwayne Bowe. And remember, no Kansas City wide receivers, Carter.
I know, that's why I haven't played Bowe.
Wide receiver touchdown of the season.
But I don't know.
Your team has been giving 100% for 4 straight weeks. Woo. I know not people do that all the time, though. It's got to cool off at some point.
Oh.
You got games left against Beto, Keeb, and Jarrett. So there's an interesting finish brewing in the Shit Sippers division. I mean, Mr. Burt's neighborhood division.
I like how you added that. I like that.
All right, coming at number 2. Davey, you should be fucking Nick Foles' clavicle right now because that was a tough loss last week. Anytime you lose to Burt, your week instantly goes to shit. So, stay off the roads. You might get hit by a bus. I don't know. There's not much worse than losing to Burt. You're starting Matty Ice Cold this week. I don't know how I feel about that. You really don't have any other options, though. However, Andre Ellington and Le'Veon Bell have been phenomenal. They're the number 4 and number 7 running backs. Justin Forsett looks great in that flex play, the number 9 running back. I would say you have the best running back core in the league since Giovanni Bernard is down for Brent. The wide receivers, however, could be better. You're starting Alshon Jeffrey and Mike Evans this week. Jeffrey's been so hit or miss. It's just way too much relying on the inconsistency of Jay Cutler. I like Mike Evans as a player. He's a big body, but in a 10-man league, that's a little bit of a stretch play. I know you're forced to do it. But you did get Jimmy Graham off Keeb. He's caught a touchdown the 2 weeks you got him. The team looks primed to make a championship run in this cakewalk of a division that you play in. But it's all going to depend on Matty Ice. And the Falcons can't even rely on him, so good luck with that.
Okay. Coming in at number 1 still is Brent. I already used it. But Brent.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Anyways, Brent.
He did.
Your team is on fire. I really hope that you cool off a little bit, or else I don't think it's going to be fun to be in playoffs because you're going to walk right through the entire thing. Macklin has been great. He's number 3rd overall receiver. He had 34 points last week, 31 this week. Really good. Foster's number 2 running back. Over 100 points in the last 5 weeks.
100 points?
100 points.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points in the last 5 weeks. But your problem is Olsen is terrible. He had 1 point 2 weeks ago, 3 points last week.
Hold on, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. Continue talking. I got to put my shit mask on, though, because that's...
Olsen has not been... He was good toward the beginning of the season.
Oh, no, it's on your face. That's how bad it is.
He's been terrible as of late.
Oh, my gosh. You're talking to him. Oh, there it goes.
But all I know is, Brent, you have a very tough end of your season. You have Beto, Burt, and then Skyler. Or other way, you have Skyler, Burt, and then Beto. So, I'm not really sure. Anyways, you play those 3 people. That's going to be really tough. You have a win. You're probably going to have a win against Jarrett. But, I mean, the other 3 games could be really rough for you. So, better hope your team gets together and Gio gets back in there, else you could really be in a tough matchup. You'll probably still put up 140 points somehow, but I don't know.
That it? Good? I'm playing.
What the hell is that?
That's a shark. All right.
Okay.
All right, hey, I want to big props to the live audience today.
Fuck off.
Also, apologies for having this posted late, Davey. I know you're pretty much the only one that watches it, so sorry it's been late, Skyler, stop. But, I mean, hey, what can you do?
All right, I'm out of here. You guys suck.